Hello everyone, my name is Susan Morales, and if you're new to this YouTube channel, I like to explore what it means to follow Jesus in an everyday kind of way. And I like to choose different topics as I'm walking through my life, and I want to explore what is the connection between that topic and the Christian worldview. So today, I'm actually going to be exploring the topic of power and situations that put people in an uncomfortable place where they feel that they are being taken advantage of. I'm actually not sure what exactly I'm going to share with you in this video, except that I'm going to be talking about something that I haven't shared with anybody as far as outside of maybe two people in my life. And I don't even know how I'm going to feel about it, but I do promise that I'm going to be very honest with you and with myself, as I usually try to be. So here we go. Okay. The reason I want to share my experience is because I think it's very important for us to share our unique experiences, in particular us as Christians, but obviously everyone's experience is valuable in helping us to better understand each other and learn to be sharpened by each other. And I want to preface this video by saying that I know that there are a lot of people that by even just what I've shared already right now, you feel like you have a lot of red flags going up because of the kinds of things that you hear in the culture, in the world, the secular culture. They do talk a lot about learning from other people's experiences, but some of those people say that there are certain experiences that are not valuable, that are irrelevant, and that's not where I'm coming from at all. And I'm also not trying to say that only a woman's experience is valuable and relevant. Whatever I share, whenever I'm speaking to men or whenever I'm speaking about women, the same advice applies really in general to both of the sexes. I just hope that you understand that that's who I am. That when I am telling you men, for example, in my last video, I was talking about how men should be responsible and have self-control instead of just making a blatant rule about not interacting one-on-one with a woman. If I say that to men, I'm not trying to bash on men, and I'm not saying that only men are possible are the only ones that are vulnerable in a certain area, and they're the ones that continually do this type of activity. No, what I'm saying is, if I'm saying it to the men, then obviously it applies to the women as well, and obviously women are just as capable of falling into the same types of things. Am I going to deny statistics? No, I won't take it that far either. If something is happening more so on one side of the sexes, then we're not going to deny reality, right? But there you go. That's my preface. And I say that because I did a small poll, a very small response, but still a response. And I wanted to share that with you before I share this very personal story that I'm about to share with you. I asked, does power play a role in abusive situations within the church or workforce? And I asked you all to share your thoughts or experiences below because I would be making a video on this topic. So, does power play a role in abusive situations? Abusive situations can be sexually abusive situations, emotional abusive situations, situations in the leadership at church, whatever you can think of. In my situation, I'm going to be talking about power as far as it goes, that a teacher has a certain amount of power in front of the class and over the students. And in my situation, it was a male teacher, and obviously the same could happen with a woman teacher, but since that wasn't my experience, I won't be going into that topic. So I'll be sharing just my experience, and please feel free to apply it in whatever your situation may be, or whatever you believe is relevant when it comes to the opposite sex as well. So I received a few responses, and I'll just share them really quick. David Bouquet, I forgot how you say it, I'm so sorry. I've had him a couple times on my YouTube channel, so I can't believe I forgot how to say his last name. But I asked him to share a little more about what he meant in his first response. So here was the first response. There are many ways it can be about power: taking back power, exerting power, establishing power, or seeking power. An abuser can abuse because they have power over another and they enjoy inflicting the pain. Sometimes, though, it can be a way for the abuser to regain power that they lost to someone else who isn't their victim. Hurt people hurt people. And he continued to say, sometimes they abuse because they are afraid if they don't, they will lose power. Sometimes the abuse is used to gain power over another for multiple reasons. Sometimes they use it as a form of punishment for perceived wrongs. Okay, so the next person wrote the provisionist perspective. Both men and women can exert this power to varying degrees even in the same relationship, which I agree. And then I asked if any significant differences they could list when power is abused. And so I'm not 100% sure what that question means, but no, I don't think so. Men and women have different kinds of power over one another, and either one of them can abuse it. So yeah, that's what I was wondering, like what kinds of power are different. Given the circumstance, sometimes one wields more power than the other, but rarely is one 100% a victim, in my opinion. And then one more person, Jesse Dornfeld, said, it can, but it doesn't have to. So I'm big on us not being polarized like our secular culture can be. Not everyone, but dominantly on social media, it seems that there is this lack of seeking truth in honesty, and we're all, in this journey in life together, and let's have conversations about the truth. And so I think sometimes we lose important conversations because we don't want to be identified, for example, as a progressive Christian. We don't want to be identified as a feminist or as a woke person and all of those things that are, very divisive on social media in particular. So one thing I feel like gets lost because of this is conversations about how power does impact us on an everyday manner in different situations. And so let me just share my story. Hopefully I can share it in 10 minutes. I'll be looking at the watch. And I'm a little uncomfortable doing this, but here we go. All right, a little background. I went to my high school at the city where I lived all of my childhood. But on my last year of high school, my senior year, I, along with my family, we moved to a different city, to a nicer city, thankfully, and it was a nicer school. I was going to a high school that was overpopulated. There were 3 stories of classrooms, and I went to another high school where it was such a small high school. It seemed like really private, less students per classroom. It was like multi-ethnic, whereas in my other high school it was predominantly Hispanics and blacks, maybe 2 or 3 white people, and maybe a couple of Asians. So it was a big change. The culture was so different. Just even everyone just seemed really peppy compared to like my other school. And even the teachers were different. In my other school, teachers really pretty much ignore you for the most part. And here I came to enter this computer class with a teacher who I forgot his first name. But I'm not sure I want to share that information anyway. And so I was in this computer class, and I think I used to like think, oh, people that go through uncomfortable things, how is it possible for them to like just forget about those things? But I think it's like you can enter this really confused place in your mind where you just don't want to think about it, and you just want to move on with your life as best as you can. You don't know, even to who to talk to. You're not brave enough to take action. And so that was my situation, and I don't know if I've ever really shared it with even some of my family members. So I was in this computer class for the first time. I don't think I had a computer class before. It was teaching us about like computer graphics or something like that, teaching us how to use these different programs and to design things and do animation and all of that. And I was very new to this small school, which everyone had a friend, and I didn't. And I was so shy that it was really hard for me. I think I was really sad too that I was in this situation, but I've always been a trailblazer, so I was up for the challenge. But I think it's possible that this teacher saw that I looked down, I looked sad, I didn't have anybody, I was anxious. And so one day, I'm not sure if it was the first day that I entered the classroom or what, but when the students left, the teacher came behind me. I was still sitting on it was either I was sitting on my chair or I was exiting the classroom. But he said something quietly to me, and he said something like, I have your back. Something like it made me think, he sees that I'm in this weird place socially in this high school, and he wants me to feel that I have someone on my corner. And, I didn't feel good about it. I just thought it was weird because I don't really want a teacher to be on my corner, And I just want my teachers to just pretend like they don't see that I'm this awkward new student. So little by little things happen, and it was so weird because it happened publicly where he would give me special attention. Like even in front of everyone. I think he made me into his teacher's aide. And sometimes I wouldn't have to do the same assignments as everyone else. Maybe it was because I was behind on computer. I don't know. I didn't understand what was going on at my age and all of these changes, living in this new place and getting ready to graduate from high school and thinking about the future and all of that. So I remember I didn't like the attention. I didn't like feeling more special than everyone else in the class, even if it was because, I don't know, like I was a loser or something, like I was pitiful. I didn't want the attention, especially because when you're in high school, you don't want to be the teacher's pet. You just want to blend in. You don't want to get any favorable attention. So I just remember like him always being like really close, smelling the coffee in his breath, and I mean, if all of this wasn't true, he was a really nice person, but I just didn't get the feeling that he was just a nice person because it just seemed like he wasn't the same way with everyone else. So one day he asked for my email address, and in front of everyone, in front of the whole class. And he didn't ask for the rest of the class's emails. Maybe I came late to the class and I don't remember when he asked, like I wasn't there if he asked for the rest of the students' emails. I just remember seeing a couple of guys eventually, like a couple of guys would look at each other like, I think in that moment I remember them looking at each other like something's weird, So yeah, it's weird because why would he ask for I don't know if he told me to come, stand up and write it or just to say it in front of the class. All I remember is how I felt. I didn't really want to give him my email address, but I did. And he said something about he was going on a trip and that he wanted to share some pictures with me. And I think he said it in front of the whole class, which was so weird. And so I ended up getting an email or two. I don't remember anymore. All I remember is that I saw an email and it's had a poem that he remembered. I don't remember the poem. I just thought, this is weird. A teacher's sending me a poem. And then like he sent pictures of, I don't remember either. I just remember feeling I don't want this. And so what I ended up doing was I blocked him. I blocked his email from me receiving any emails. I might have deleted it also. I probably did. Because that was my solution in high school, like anything I don't want to remember or think about, I just throw it away. I've done that in the past. And so I remember speaking to one of my parents, and they pretty much, I guess they didn't know how to deal with the situation, but they just pretty much said, yeah, just block it. And that was it. And there was one time when this teacher, like I was embarrassed of wearing my glasses, my reading glasses, my seeing glasses out in public because I was insecure of how I looked with my glasses. And so I wouldn't wear them, and I would just kind of just walk on my own and not really look around and say hi to people, teachers. One time this teacher asked me, oh, I said hi to you, but you didn't say hi to me. And I just thought, oh, that's weird, that this teacher is actually telling me that. Like, if that's the case, then why make a big deal about it? So I felt really uncomfortable about everything that was happening. That finally, in my really young girl mind, I decided that I was going to. He had assigned us an assignment to the whole class, and so on my computer screen there was this girl, and I was supposed to do I don't know what to the picture. What I ended up doing was I got this distortion or brush, and I just distorted this girl's face. and I pretty much made her look like a Halloween Chucky. And so when he came and he saw my screen, he just kind of didn't say anything, and he just kind of, it was like my way of saying, hey, like, I'm not this good student, like, just leave me alone. And I remember, like, we would all the classroom would have to, like, walk around and look at each other's work. I just remember feeling really embarrassed, that other students were going to see that. But that was how I solved my problem, and I avoided him from that point on. And I think he realized it when I didn't respond to his emails or anything like that. Yeah, I didn't even tell him anything. It was just, I don't know. So finally, when I graduated, it was really weird because for whatever reason, I went up to the little stage and I walked down, and my instinct was, oh, again, I wasn't wearing my glasses. So um, I, I think I wasn't wearing them. I'm pretty sure I wasn't. So my instinct was, oh, someone, as I'm walking by in the middle of everyone, right? Everyone's sitting here. There's a middle section. And so there's someone, as I was about to walk by, stood up to take a picture. And I assumed, oh, someone's taking a picture. You smile. And then when I walked a little closer and walked past, I realized it was that teacher. And it was just really weird still, because I'm like, why does this teacher have to take a picture of me? And so anyway, I don't know what's going on with my camera, but it's not letting me record right now, and I think I'm just going to end it by saying that turns out I do remember his name. Interesting how the brain can just can do that. All of a sudden, the name popped up in my head, the first name. I remembered it, and I looked it up, and I found him, and I was kind of, it's weird to see that, and just like, I feel like I'm a high school girl, and I think that the thing about this situation is that, I'm just gonna hold my phone here. The thing about this situation is that it's nothing that, would get someone fired, but it was something that affected me so much. I dreaded going to that class every day. I hated that class. And I don't know why I didn't change classes. I think I had some problems with my class schedule even before, like I had to change everything. So it was already the second time that I was getting to know all the teachers and everything. I think I just didn't want to do that a third time. And but I should have. But in my mind, I felt like I just had to go through it. And so the point of making this video is to think through how power can be a negative thing, because although some people might dismiss my experience and say, well, it's not like there was something worse that happened, nothing happened to you. But it actually was very uncomfortable. I think it was an abuse of power, and it was something that I should have been respected as a student, and I should have been asked, do you want me to send you an email? Not just to have been told, give me your email because I want to. Or even to have been told something personal, like I have your back, or whatever he said along those lines. Like, it was not something I sought out. I didn't want that kind of closeness with the teacher. And just the proximity of the teacher always, like, looking at my work on the computer, it made me feel so uncomfortable. it's, like this, there's personal space, right? And it was just not something that I looked forward to. Um, so I think that was an abuse of power, and that we should make a bigger deal about women's feelings. That even someone's feelings are an attack to a person. And again, I'm pretty sure someone is rolling their eyes, because when I say that, they're probably thinking about like an extreme situation that they hear online about, oh, they feel like, like just things that are irrelevant in this video right now. So if I could just hold your attention to what I'm saying, what I'm really saying right now, that my feelings of being uncomfortable should be respected, should have been respected. And even right now, like I've always thought, why not send an email to the school? I think I've always been afraid to do that. I always kind of imagine the worst, right? Like, what if this person finds out and something bad happens to me, or even this person gets in contact with me? So I'm putting this information out there without a name. But now that I know that there's this person out there online, and that he's probably still working in a school, maybe the right thing is to send an email to wherever he's still working at. And even just saying that, it scares me, because this is a public platform, YouTube, and you never know who watches this. But at most, if he did nothing wrong, then there should be no problem with someone sending an email about something that he didn't do anything wrong, right? And if he did do something wrong, then I mean, I don't know, hopefully I don't know what the best case scenario is. I just wonder if there are other students out there that had the same experience as me, or maybe worse things, who knows. So let's add the Christian worldview to this experience. Well, first, if I can go back, what I would have done is I would have asked my parents to go to the school's office. I would have, so I would encourage parents to have closer relationships with their kids. That, when we're teenagers, we shut down a lot, and maybe parents try to talk to their teenagers and they just seem uninterested, or they just don't continue a conversation. They give you like the most basic response to, how was your day? Fine. But if you could find a way to have a close relationship with your child, that they feel that they can come to you with anything, then I think that's the kind of relationship God wants us to have with our kids. God wants us to be involved in their lives. And yeah, I wish that I would have told my parents. I wish I wouldn't have been fearful of what was going to happen, or even the inconvenience of having to change my schedule. Something else was going on at that time in that school year, which I was really down about too, that I don't think anyone knew at my school except my neighbor friend that used to walk with us, walk with me to school. My dad developed a tumor in his intestines, and he needed to go to the emergency room and get emergency surgery done. And he was the sole provider of our family. So it was around prom time when people were excited about what they were going to wear and go, and I was just worried about life, thinking about maybe getting a part-time job, thinking about how we're going to eat, and if my dad's going to be okay. And life was really hard, not on top of also being bullied by some of the football players, and just I just shut down pretty much, and this teacher situation didn't help. So I was thinking maybe one day I'll write a book about my experiences in life and just share that with whoever would be interested in learning more about that. But yeah, if you feel comfortable, feel free to share maybe your own experience with someone that abused their power, put you in an uncomfortable situation, and how you dealt with it, or maybe how you're still dealing with it. I wanted to make this video mostly to just share like how it's possible for a young girl, what was I, 17 years old, 18, for a young girl to be completely lost and completely like not know how to deal with the situation and just pretty much suffer every school day, going through an uncomfortable situation and feeling like even though the whole class like knew how weird it was, like nobody did anything about it. No one like questioned the teacher because he had power, and I think he was a strict teacher with everyone. So yeah, and I guess I might as well just add this, and out of my nervousness, that if you are that teacher and you watch this video, I'm hoping that the best, you had the best of intentions, and but it really made me feel uncomfortable, and I forgive you for how you made me feel, whether it was intentional or not. I don't know, but I hope that that maybe hopefully you could learn from this, and that you could not do that to anyone again. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Painful memories play back when least expected. Try to ignore them, hoping to forget one day. If time really heals, then why do some things still hurt? Show me the depth of your love. Let me feel a healed heart, to be free from what once was, moving forward with you, letting go, here with you. Can't change what happened, but wishing things were different. No more ignoring, I can face this with you. Jesus, my healer, restore this heart with your love. Show me the depth of your love. Let me feel a healed heart, to be free from what once was, moving forward with you. you. Maker of this heart, I need you to mend the brokenness. Can't do this alone. Take the sting away, so when I remember, I'll look back with a healed heart, made complete with your